When it comes down to the fresh leg scenario, I guess it works both ways. Certainly you guys work enough on the press and in terms of conditioning to be able to force other teams to play a little bit more the way that you want to play. Do you ever worry, though, about having that press on for half the game, three-quarters of the game, or whatever, that it's taken some of your guys' legs out from under them?
Well, yeah, I think you can't play, but not really the three-quarter court press. I think when you go more of a full court press, you're really expending a lot of energy. And so how many minutes can you play at that level? Maybe not very many as a freshman. Maybe coming in and playing 15 to 20 minutes is as much as you can do, and you're just beat. But now, as you go through the season and you really work in the offseason to try to understand how to play at that level and that intensity, the idea would be is if I've got a player that's an all-conference player, as a guard, I would think he'd be able to play 35, 36 minutes at that level by the time he gets to be an all-conference player. And so when we talk in recruiting and we talk about players coming here, they don't have to worry about quick substitutions, because if they're that good when they get here, they're going to have the chance to stay on the court as much as they can.
Right.
The other players, if we're not as good at the small forward position, can we have two players play 20 minutes each and be better than the other guy that's playing 35 minutes? That's how we're going to try to win games until our talent level increases.
All right. Let's jump into a couple of particulars then on personnel issues, because I know that fans have some questions, and you hear what people ask me things. I'm sure people ask you things about some of these guys. Number one, obviously last night Jemaine Peterson had maybe his worst night of the year. He's held to just 3 points and 5 rebounds overall. And it seems like Greedy's been struggling on the floor the last couple of games, although he did rebound a little bit in the second half there against St. John's. Is this just something he has to work through? Is he going through some particular issues that you can share with us, or what do you feel Greedy is right now?
Well, I would say Greedy's, kind of fallen in a short amount of time. The same thing that happened to Marshawn Brooks a little bit. You have some really great scoring nights, and all of a sudden you think you're going to be a 25-point-a-night guy.
Right.
And that doesn't just have, you can have those kind of nights, but that doesn't mean you're going to be able to sustain it. What Jemaine does for us is he rebounds incredibly well, and as long as he does that, he'll be able to stay on the court. And then the nights where he makes a couple jump shots, well, that's gravy for us. He's not a great shooter.
You still have to get him to decide when to take those jump shots, as opposed to posting up or trying to go for the offensive rebound, right?
I think he's been learning better. We've been talking with Greedy about not taking the through the legs pull back jumper. The 3-point shot he can take is the one where he's wide open. He's got time to set his feet. He's going to shoot a decent percentage on those. The ones where he's rushing it and fading away, I'd rather him rush it and take it right to the rim, because good things happen when he does that.
Absolutely. By the way, even with the 5 rebounds last night, he's still averaging 10 per game in the season, so it gives you a bit of an idea where he's been statistically. He's been very, very consistent, if not dominant. Still leads the team in scoring and rebounding at 17 points and 10 boards per game. A couple of other guys I wanted to touch on here briefly. Vincent Council, you touched on him just a couple of moments ago, but it seems like good things happen when Vincent comes into the game. The team settles down. He really, I think, knows how to quarterback, football term here, quarterback the team, and they seem to respond to him. Is there a possibility, do you think, maybe that his playing time would increase to the point where you might consider starting him as opposed to bringing him off the bench as a sixth man?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think we will look at...
You ask and you get.
We will look at not just different rotations and different minutes played, but we will also look at different starting lineups. We have not started well the last 4 or 5 games, so I think, for fans out there that want to see a change in the starting lineup, there most likely will be one for Saturday.
They have to be behind you in line to see that. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
But I talked with my staff at length after our game with Louisville about who we thought should be in the starting lineup, and we decided that we were going to see how practice went the next couple days and let that determine who is going to be in the starting lineup to some degree. Obviously, their game time, playing minutes and how they've been coming off the bench or how they've been playing is going to determine that. But also, let practice have a lot of energy to it and see which guys really deserve to be able to start.
Council ended up playing the second most minutes out of any of the players last night.
See, usually I'm not too worried about who starts and who comes off the bench. It's more of who's going to be in there at the end of the game and how many minutes are you playing. But when you don't start off well, you're not just going to be stubborn and keep starting the same lineup. You've got to look at different opportunities and different guys, and I think we'll do that quite quickly.
Coach, I get asked this question at least once a day, and have been asked it probably for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Why is Russ Perlmutter not getting time off of the bench?
Well, I think what you look at is the guys that haven't been playing many minutes, it comes back to practice. You can't just say you're a game-time player. You got to be able to show that you're able to rebound, defend in practice. And then the guys that do it in practice are going to be the guys that play. And so Russ has found himself not only behind Belial at the center position, but then James Still has been getting the minute or 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes behind him. And then Jemaine Peterson has been getting those minutes. Ray Hall has been practicing hard. You got to remember, he's been out for 2 years, and so his physical ability to run the court, just a great kid, and he's going to keep getting opportunities in practice to be able to develop. I think some games he's going to be able to play more than others. Against Notre Dame, to match up with Herringody, he'd be able to. In an up-and-down game against Louisville, it doesn't favor him right now, but he's just an incredible kid. He's working so hard to be a part of this team, and he is. He's a part of it, and I hope he's able to get some minutes on the court because I know he's a fan favorite. He's one of my favorites. I think the world of him, and I'm really glad that he's been able to come through this injury.
As we all are.
Not to play minutes, but so that he's going to have a healthy life,
Absolutely.
Afterwards. I think that's a credit to his work ethic and what type of person he is.
He most definitely is a great kid. Very talented graphic artist, too, I might add. So Ray Hall is kind of the complete picture in terms of student athlete, and you root for guys like that naturally.
You really do, and you pull for him and everything like that. And he's the type of kid that we want as a student athlete at Providence. So when we go out and look, it's easy for me to evaluate which guys are going to fit in our system basketball-wise. We've been working incredibly hard. There's no staff that works harder on the recruiting road in the country. I'm just telling you, that's not just coach speak. I really believe that they're working. Right now, I got assistants that are on the phones, until they go to sleep, calling kids and talking about what Providence College is going to be about. Now, we're going to get the talent. Can we get the kids with the character? Those are the kind of kids, talent and character. That's what wins championships. That's what's going to take us to the NCAA tournament. And it's work ethic. And it's not just going to be...
Sign me up, Coach. I'm ready to play.
when we get kids on campus and they see what we're about and they see the direction, that's why we've been able to elevate the recruiting to date. And I'm not going to be surprised if there's not some good news in the not-too-distant future.
Ooh, okay. That's known as a tease, I think, perhaps. Something good to come. Well, I wanted to spend some time tonight talking about some of the kids who we already know are going to come into Providence. So we'll get to that in a moment. We're also going to take a quick look around the Big East Conference. And if we have some time, we'll also try to get in some questions from here, the fans at Twist. And again, for our fans coming out to the Keno Davis radio show here at Twist Restaurant from 7 to 8. 8 o'clock tonight is when we'll be off the air. We're at 336 Bald Hill Road in Warwick, just off of Route 2. You'll have a chance to win some tickets to the Friars game against Rutgers coming up this Saturday night, an 8 o'clock tip-off at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. We'll continue with the head coach of the Friars, Keno Davis, in a moment on Sports Radio 103.7 WEEI FM.